Let us skip all the YouTube formalities and actually make some pixel art. Starting with the silhouette, or to be more precise, with the silhouette of one of those happy little trees that you've been seeing there. Whatever I do, if it's a character, if it's a building, no matter what, silhouette goes first. It just gives you an idea what is going to happen. You can adjust sizes, you can plan how big is a thing going to be, because we actually have to fit those faces in there, and it also have to be in proportion to the rest of the objects in the game. With that out of the way, the next thing in line is to add a main light. For this I'm grabbing the base color, shifting it a little bit more to a yellow hue, making it lighter, making it more saturated. And since I want the light to strike from the left side, I divide the tree in half and fill the left side. In the shadow side of the tree, I'm just adding some roots and maybe even some sprinkles of light to indicate the texture of bark. This is a perfect moment to try things out and make mistakes, go forth and back, and find out what you really like, because as soon as you're hitting a later stage of refining an object, it takes much more time to just change the direction that you're going. So the next thing that I'm going to add is the face, and I don't just want the faces to look like they are paintings on the bark. I actually want them to be like incorporated into the tree. So first thing I do is I again do a silhouette of the facial features, so it's only the mouth and the eyes, but then after that I will make it look like it's carved into the tree, or it's a hole in the tree. And the approach to achieve that is pretty much the same as the approach with the main light. So light is striking from the left side, and I will just have a look, where does the light strike? So it strikes on the right side of the mouth, on the right side of the eyes, and where will a shadow be, or shadow be casted, and this is on the left side of the mouth. The entirety of what I'm doing right now is just going to end up in the Explore feature of Tales, our Discord-based text adventure roguelite mix-up. And Explore basically is you deciding to interact with the terrain around you, investigate, look around, examine, find cool things, find side quests. And this particular side quest is just you finding some creepy moaning trees, and you need to find out what is happening. Let's take care of some backlight. Backlight is a cool way to differentiate the background and the foreground object that you're working on, so they don't get blended together, get mixed up. It's easier to read the foreground object with some backlighting. I grabbed the base color, shifted it to the blue, made it a little bit lighter, so basically the same procedure that I did for the main light, just with another color hue. I'm aiming for the backlight not to be so dominant, it's more just to give it some mysterious note and match the fog that is going to end up in the image as well. So now we got a quite flat version of what we want to have. And to change that, I'm going to add some more detail, grab the light color, shift it to the green, make it a little bit lighter and more saturated, and then add some more highlights. Those highlights I'm only adding like inside of the area where the light already is. I don't often place it just right next to the shadow color, because this contrast will be too harsh and will take away from the natural look of the tree. So the next thing that I'm doing is I am going to use the dithering pen. I don't know why they call it the dithering pen. It has nothing to do with dithering in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a very handy tool, so I set it to 8%, which means that whatever I am touching is going to be 8% lighter. So this way I can even refine the highlights a little bit further, and all those flat areas that only have been one color tone previously will just have like a variety of colors then. It is not as classic of a pixel art style, but I think it does really well in a video game where the objects are not moving, like in a text adventure, because you give more detail, you just give something where the animation is missing. And it doesn't all only make things brighter, it can also make things darker, so I'm adding some shadow, using it to give the face some more of a skull look, so you have this defined cheekbone. And I will also give the mouth and the eyes some more shading, so they look even deeper. Looking at it, I guess I will make the backlight a little bit lighter. It did make sense in the flat version of the tree, but now with more details it just falls off a little bit. So I'm grabbing the color, making it a little bit lighter, just giving it some touch-ups on the very right. Here's a trick. I grab a color and then I just turn it to 50% of the opacity to make it blend in the color that is next to it. Just using this on the backlight right now because I had the feeling that it didn't really like flow together with the base color of the tree. Also, the face could look like he's in more pain, so I'm shifting things forth and back. And now, after the nose job done, he does look even more miserable than before, and that makes me realize that he could actually need some kind of backdrop, something that gives a reference of size, like a plant in behind. So let's do that. Let's put a little plant there. This is a miniature version of what we've done before. So we start again, picking a base color, blocking out the silhouette, do the shading. It's all the same. You just can't really do like smooth transitions. So you have to be careful that the object doesn't have too much of a contrast, because if the contrast only is from one pixel to another, this might look messy. Another reason that I don't want it to be too dark is because I want to reserve those black tones for the face, so it really pops out. Instead I'm doing some backlighting and some of the yellow main light striking from the left. And then to make it look more natural, I'm using the dithering pen again and just darken it a little bit. So that is pretty much it. If you made it to this portion of the video, I want to say thank you. Feel free to comment below, to leave us a like. If you're interested to find out more about Tails, there's a link to our Discord newsletter server below. And we'll post there monthly, so you don't get spammed. It's really worth it. Enjoy making pixel art yourself. Let's keep in touch. Have a good day.